Hi, everyone. I'm Angela Stoyanovich, host of the Legal Drugs Podcast, and I'm really excited to be here with Dr. Chris Mathis again for a very special update from AnaBios Corporation. Thanks for joining me today, Chris.
Hi, Angela. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. And today we are coming on for a very special video interview because AnaBios has been developing a new model that you would like to update the world with. And so what's been going on? What's the latest over at AnaBios?
Yeah, we're really excited to be developing a new human spinal cord platform. This is something we announced in early March that we're collaborating with Eli Lilly. And the idea here is to develop an assay where we're using human spinal cord and measuring electrophysiological properties from the spinal cord. And the reason this is exciting is because it really makes sense. AnaBios for the past 10 years has developed and validated very extensively a platform with human sensory neurons. And those sensory neurons are from human dorsal root ganglia, or DRGs. And that's been around for years. We collaborated early on with Pfizer, developed that with Pfizer around 2011. And we've published with well-known pain researchers like Rob Giroux, 2014. With this pain platform using human sensory ganglia, we are collaborating with preclinical research groups around the world to come up with better pain medicines. Obviously, the opioid crisis is demanding that we provide better options for non-addictive pain treatments, and that's something that we're doing with that. So that's really exciting. And with this spinal cord platform, this assay, we will be able to provide a different approach for pain research and also provide solutions for preclinical groups in pharma and biotech looking at MS, multiple sclerosis, or spinal cord injury. So maybe I should take a second and explain kind of the physiology or the anatomy of what's going on here. So the sensory neurons in the DRG are what relay pain from touch or skin or some noxious stimulus. And the nerve cells go to ganglia, clusters of nerve cells that are outside the spinal cord. That message is relayed through the spinal cord to the brain. And so the spinal cord obviously plays an important role in processing that information and getting the information to the brain. And it might even be a place where pharmaceutical and biotech companies can target proteins to block the pain signal or to modify it. So that's why we're excited about this new development.
That's incredible. How long have you guys been working on this?
So we started at the beginning of this year, and so we made great progress. It's been challenging with the current global situation, but we're making great progress. And we hope to have something that could be commercially available by the end of this year. Can't make any promises, but really working hard with the AnaBios scientists to have something available that we can provide to the global pharmaceutical industry.
It sounds like a real opportunity. So you're working with the spinal cord. So I know we've talked a little bit about brain, and I'm curious where we're going to go from here in the future and how you might be able to work with the brain as well.
Yeah, that's a great question because the spinal cord is a perfect step towards the brain. So the spinal cord is our first venture into CNS. Well, it's a step towards brain. It's not really our first venture. It's our first venture to have a CNS assay, and CNS stands for central nervous system. So the sensory ganglia from the DRG are peripheral nerve cells, and the DRG and the spinal cord have different connective tissue. There's different challenges associated with it, and ultimately, our plan at AnaBios is to have human brain tissue samples that we can do physiology assays with live cells. And that would just be a real game changer for neuroscience research.
Absolutely. So what would be the call to action, if you will, Chris, that you would like our viewers to understand and the opportunity that might present itself to others in order to work with you guys?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to make sure people know about AnaBios, right? We are a unique human tissue company, not just nerve cells, but we also work with human hearts and human heart cells.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really important that people understand what we're capable of doing and how we can help them with preclinical drug discovery programs. And that includes the pain research that we provide. So I want to make sure people know about that. I also want to make sure that people know that the spinal cord assays will be available in the coming months, and that we're working towards brain. And for brain, we are actually looking for partners to help co-develop this, to help us get there faster. And so if anyone's interested in partnering with AnaBios on this project, they can contact me.
That's awesome. And thank you for describing once again the work that you guys do. You're no stranger to the Legal Drugs podcast. You've been on our show on episode 6, and your CEO has been on our show, episode 12, and we're getting ready to do another full-length interview with you. Thank you so much for your sponsorship of the podcast, Legal Drugs Podcast.
Absolutely.
What else would you like us to know with this incredible and exciting new update that you guys are working on with regard to this assay, or anything else that's in the pipeline for you?
Well, I think it just emphasizes the importance of using human cells in preclinical research, right? The goal of drug discovery is to come up with new medicines that will help people. And a lot of compounds fail in clinical trials because perhaps they worked in rats and mice or some animal, but they're not ultimately efficacious in humans. So our goal is to provide a solution early on in the process so that the molecules going into clinical trials have a much higher rate of success. And so this spinal cord assay that we're developing will fit into that category of human translation in drug discovery.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on today to speak with everyone. I can't wait for the feedback, and I can't wait to see what happens. This really feels like the future.
Thanks, Angela. Appreciate you having me today.
Of course. All right. We'll see you next time.